then you can tell by this that Gasquet actually would have a slight edge because he's actually won 5 of the 8 meetings. They haven't played since last year in Miami, and Gasquet took that convincingly. But they've played on an outdoor hard court 6 times, and Berdych is 2-4 against them. So that would be vindictive of saying Gasquet would have an advantage, but I think Berdych is playing better this year, and I think he's playing more consistent ball. And if anything, I think that would bode well because he's had a pretty good run in this tournament in the past. And he usually does play well in some of these bigger events lately. Like if you look at last year, he got lost to Nadal in the semis. Reached the quarters one year losing to Nadal. So he's had some really good runs in this tournament. All right, and then finally we've got the final quarter of the draw. So to recap what I predict so far, I predicted Nadal and Federer to reach the semi in the top half, with Federer eking out a victory, and I predicted in the bottom half for Thomas Berdych to reach the semifinal and face the winner, the guy who comes out of the bottom part of the bracket. And the bottom quarter, you've got Del Potro, you've got Gilles Simon, Joe Tsonga, Tom Robredo, Marin Cilic, and Novak Djokovic. For the first round of 16 encounter, I would have to put Del Potro and Tsonga as the 2 best guys, because I know Del Potro's wrist has been bothering him, but I don't see any guy in that section that can beat him. This Vasek Pospisil, I mean, who's he? I don't know much about him, so I really can't make any judgment either way. But I have to say Del Potro gets through this section. I think he'll play Tsonga. I think Simone and Tsonga could be a very compelling third-round match. I think Tsonga would eke that out in the close one, and I think that would be the counter set in the 4th round between Tsonga and Del Potro. I think it's a very, very interesting section. I think that Tsonga would pull that out in the 3-setter. I mean, if you look at the head-to-head between the two of them, Tsonga and Del Potro. Del Potro's got a 5-2 record. Tsonga won the last meeting on clay. But if you look at their career record on hard court, Tsonga is down, trails him 4-1. But I'm not really going to buy into that because they haven't played in a couple years. And this year, Tsonga, he's 9-4. Del Potro's 7-3. Del Potro has a title, but at the same time this year, you just get the sense that Del Potro being injured, his wrist being bothering him. He might get through a couple matches, but he knows how bad his wrist can get because he missed almost all of 2010 with a wrist injury. It was the other wrist, but still, he's not going to take any chances, and if he feels any pain, he's not going to want to play longer. But I think that on that merit alone, the fact that I think Tsonga's had some good results this tournament, I would have to go with Tsonga in an upset. And my final round of 16 is relatively easy to predict, and it's Marin Cilic and Novak Djokovic. I mean, Robredo's the higher-ranked seed, but in this draw, it's straightforward. You've got the 4 seeds, Robredo, Cilic, Dodic, and Novak Djokovic. It's pretty much going to be those 4 seeds getting to the round of 32. And I think Cilic would take out Robredo because Cilic is much better on a hard court. He's been in the semifinals of the Australian Open, the quarterfinals of the U.S. Open. He's had some good runs in Masters events on hard courts. But Djokovic will get through this section. Come on. He's won this title before a couple times. He's played very convincingly here. He loves to beat the ball from the baseline. No guy's going to be consistent enough to beat him in that section. So you got to go with Djokovic. And if that's the case, you now have the semifinal field set between Nadal, Federer, and then Berdych and Djokovic. And I'm going to go with Djokovic because, yes, I know he lost his Aussie Open crown to Wawrinka. However, I think he gets into the final here because I think he would just wear down Berdych. I think the fact that he's going to be able to hit the ball deeper, longer, the fact that the conditions, I think, suit Djokovic better. They're a little slower, so I think that that's going to really help him in the long run. So I like Djokovic to reach the final and face Federer. And I'm going to predict Djokovic to beat Federer. I mean, my personal opinion would love to see the opposite because I'm a bigger Federer fan, but I think Djokovic would beat him. I think Djokovic would take him out in 3 sets. I think it'd be a close match. Might give my dad a few heart attacks because he's a big Federer fan. But I think that Djokovic will beat him. I know Federer's played well lately, and Djokovic hasn't played a whole lot, but I think Djokovic kind of gets him back for winning that semifinal in Dubai. Okay, everybody, that's my opinion of the BNP Paribas Open for 2014. Be sure to stay tuned and watch the tournament taking place from the 6th to the 16th. And following the conclusion of the tournament at the BNP Paribas Open, I'll be breaking down the Ericsson Open in Miami, and I'll be talking about how that tournament will go down, and I'll also might make a preview for the clay court season too. All that and more, so coming up.